Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the All You Can Talk podcast. This is episode 8. This is episode 8. We're nearly at the 10 mark.
We had a bit of a coming out last... Well, no.
we came out of the closet last week.
Our adventure with Mr. Tumnus.
Today we're going to do something slightly different. Today we are going to be asking each other questions all the way through this podcast to find out who we truly are. Now, we asked ChatGPT if you were going to ask somebody 10 questions who you'd never met before to figure out who they are fully, consciously and unconsciously, what would you ask them? So what we're going to do is we're going to ask these questions to each other and we're going to figure out, and in the next episode, we're going to figure out who we are. So this comes from having your own self-perception and then you finding out who you truly are.
Opens you up, doesn't it? It's sent me these questions, and some of them you think and you're like, you don't get upset, but you're like,
Yeah, so we're going to get deep in this podcast.
Have you noticed my new hair? My missus has like brushed it, made me look like Johnny Bravo. Just thought I'd mention that.
You've always had a bit of afro hair anyway.
Yeah, because I ain't gone for an haircut in a while because I just haven't had time. Yeah. And I just thought I'd bring that up because I saw your hair fluttering in the breeze.
No, I'm changing it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
Do you know what it reminds me of? Me and you see him every single morning with floppy with hair. It looks just like him.
I do right now because it's just growing.
Now that guy, right? If I'm just going to head straight into this, that guy is the perception of fucking discipline, isn't he? Every morning we see him, every night he's there. Don't matter what time you go
What, in the gym?
Yeah. And Danny was chatting to him and he says, I do abs in cardio in the morning and I do weights at night. He's fucking shredded.
Yeah, I bet.
And
That's
I'm
discipline.
Like, cold shower straight after.
No, you've ruined it.
And before.
You've ruined it. And before.
I did one before.
Double gay. Like, what's going on?
What did we say in the last podcast? Stop calling things gay.
Gay, I don't
You
mean
fucking retard.
Double gay. double gay. Right, so before we start talking about cold showers, let's find out who we truly are. As we already know, he's a cold shower gay. So, okay, so the first question, and what we're going to do is we're going to go through this, ask the question, and then we're both going to answer, and we'll discuss about it. We may not get through all of them. If we don't, we'll do a part 2. So, the first question is, Reece, if I was someone you'd never met before, how would you describe yourself?
Loving, very driven, and a salesman. I'll sell anything. Not my body. No, in all honesty, I'm a very driven character, very confident. Self-belief is there, especially in the last 6 months. It's coming back, as we discussed.
Yeah.
Yeah, self-confident. I'm very loving as well. I would do anything for anybody.
That's a very good trait to have.
I would help anybody I could, and a lot of people know that. And there's another question later on, question 5, and that'll lead on to that one. But yeah, very driven, self-confidence. I've got a lot of self-belief. But I'm also very loving and I will look after anybody and I will do anything anybody wants. I'm
more intrigued to look into the salesman side, so where does that come from?
About a year and a half ago, the previous company I was with, the MD just turned around to me one day and says, do you fancy doing business development? And I did. I was like, right, okay. So he sent me off on a few presentations to different people around the country. And I nailed it. I'm a good speaker, hence why I'm doing a fucking podcast. I like speaking to people. I like people. And I think one thing that makes me a little bit different, not just coming from me, but other customers as well, I'm not a bullshitter.
Yeah.
So if I can't do something, I will say you're better off sticking with them. Yeah. Or you're better off, I can't beat that. There's no way I'm going to beat that. You might as well just stay where you are. And 9 times out of 10, they'll still come with that company, us anyway. It's
interesting though that you call yourself a salesman, as that was one of the you named 3 things there how you would describe yourself. It's interesting that salesman, which a lot of people would be quite alien to because they see that as a job, not a personality trait.
Yeah.
But obviously I know that it can be a personality trait, and that comes from confidence and almost manipulation as well.
Partly, I won't. Probably manipulation in terms of talking people into an actual sale, but I think that can also stem into the self-belief aspect where somebody's got to believe in you, and if you don't believe in yourself, they won't either. You can see it in somebody when they don't believe in themselves. But yeah, salesman is essentially somebody who can talk to people and is very personable and can relate to a lot of what they're saying. But I always said if I was going to sales, my dad's good at this as well, my father's good at this, doesn't bullshit people. If you can't do it, he will say, and so will I.
Don't oversell yourself.
Yeah, and there's no point to it. I've quoted a couple of jobs last year, and I've said I can't beat what price the company's giving you. There's nothing I can do about that. You're better off with that, and they still come with us. So, and I've got people who vouch for that.
No,
do you know what I mean? If you view my LinkedIn, I've got a good quarter of people on there who I truly believe in, and that I think they would give me a good reference if I asked for it. Yeah. So,
interesting.
Yeah. What about you, mate?
Well, hang on, let me reread the question. Alright, so just to recap, how would you describe yourself? How would I describe myself to someone who has never met me? It's an interesting one because I always think you're going to describe yourself in the best positive light, aren't you? Mm-hmm. So I would say that I'm disciplined, caring, and straightforward. In terms of, I don't like to think that people think I'm just talking to them for the sake of it. A bit similar to you, I never bullshit people. Yeah. I'd like everybody to think they know where to stand with me, and that I'm
definitely
professional.
Good at that. I know when we've had a problem, and we generally sort it out fairly quickly. Yeah. But I think that's two people coming together that are accountable if they've done something wrong. Yeah. I think if somebody did do something wrong and wasn't accountable, I wouldn't say we wouldn't be friends, but I don't think we'd have a stronger friendship as we have done.
We bring accountability up a lot, and I believe it's because it's so prevalent in people's lives. If you're not accountable in who you are and your own mistakes, then you're never going to make them relationships. I can't be constantly saying you're the problem when I'm the one being a dickhead.
Yeah, no, that's precisely it. I get you completely. I'd agree with what you've said. You are straightforward, you don't bullshit, and you are disciplined, very disciplined. And yeah, it's a very good. They're all very good traits to have. I
think discipline's the most important one.
True.
Because if you're disciplined people are disciplined in certain areas of their lives, but not in others. Yeah. So, for example, you might be able to put 18 hours of work in a day, but your washing pile is fucking up to the sky. It doesn't translate. You can't. You know what I mean? You can't. You have to be. If you're disciplined in every single area of your life, the good things come with it. So you get the opportunity to be loving. You get the opportunity to care for your family, to spend this time doing things you enjoy. But because you're disciplined enough to do all the things you hate, or all the things that are necessary to allow you that freedom.
And I think one thing that I was actually curious to see if you'd say. Both of us never said motivation. We're not motivated.
Don't need motivation.
Thank you. I'm glad we've not said it.
It's a passing phase.
Yeah, it's one of them that I don't believe in.
It's a different beast when you have to. So with me, I'm one of these. I have to achieve it. I am going to achieve it. Yeah. So therefore, I need to do what's necessary. So if I don't feel like achieving it that day, I just feel like spending the day on the couch. I've got to do it anyway, and I'll go twice as hard because I feel like shit while doing it. It's that discipline allows you that freedom because at the end of the day, it's
Jocko Willink, discipline equals freedom.
Discipline equals freedom.
I can't wait to read that book.
Exactly.
He's got some decent books.
Okay, I'm going to ask you the next question now. So we're getting really into who we are here. What is something you deeply admire in other people?
Discipline. Literally going on to that. If I see somebody, like we spoke about, that guy in the gym, I think you are smashing it, mate. Go for it.
Discipline commands respect, doesn't it?
Yeah. And there's a couple of people that I've known throughout my time of being alive, the last few years, who have not shown any discipline. And I wouldn't say my respect's gone down for them, but I've not, how can I put it? I've not said as much to make them discipline or make them motivated to be disciplined.
Respect is not an all-encompassing thing either. You can respect somebody's who they are morally.
Yeah.
But you can not respect somebody in the terms of their discipline.
Yeah, you don't have to agree with everything somebody does. And their morals and their values. I respect people's morals and values, but I think discipline's one of them that I'll never look over. Especially if you're going to be in a circle sort of thing.
Because discipline sometimes as well, it gets a negative when people who aren't disciplined or aren't into sort of the self-development world, if you will, they'll be like, discipline, to see that as getting hit around the head because you've been disciplined. It's like, no. Discipline is doing everything you're supposed to do when it's supposed to be done in exactly the way it's supposed to be done.
Even if you don't want to do it.
Even if you don't want to do it.
Yeah, there's times where I don't want to go to the gym in the morning. Me and Danny go together, and we've both said, like, you're fucking going. To each other, like you are going.
Little bitch, like, and I fucking get out of bed.
Having a gym partner is definitely worth it for anybody, because it's that, get up, the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, like, get out of bed. You know, because we go early, well, not early compared to some people, but we're there at 6:30.
Yeah, that's early.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And it's like, we get there. You know, it's not Jocko Willing 4:30, 5:30 when he gets up, but we're there. You know what I mean? Before work. And it's like, I do go to work and then I see people walking through, you know, from what, you know, driving past, I'm like, these people have just been driving. I've been to the gym.
Yeah.
I've done a bit of work before I've gone to the gym.
It's that competitiveness as well, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm very competitive.
You know, you're getting ahead of the people who aren't doing this.
Yeah, definitely. But discipline's one of them that, if somebody's got discipline, I really respect that. I admire people with discipline. That's why I really followed Jocko Willink's books and follow him as a person, because I think he gets up at 4:30 every morning, posts that watch, and he's there, and it's like, fair enough.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's, yeah.
I mean, we're both in similar shoes as being somebody who wasn't disciplined to then being able to look back now as somebody who's extremely disciplined in life. It's a very strange contrast to look back on, because I can't actually remember what the fuck I filled my days with. You know, the days you'd just come home, play video games, and go to bed. I can't remember what there's times that you just, what were I actually achieving here?
Do you feel like when you play games now, because don't get me wrong, I play them now again, I feel better.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because I feel like I've earned it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if I play Football Manager, I feel like I've earned it. Do you know? Instead of just feeling like I'm just playing this.
Just a little side note, new game for your Football Life Simulator, Unreal.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, we'll get into that after.
Yeah.
The All You Can Talk podcast.
I'll show you the game after.
Yeah, I'm good for that.
But no, you're right. It's like, after this, I'll be playing Football Life Simulator. But that's because I got up this morning, I went to the gym, I then did some studio time. I uploaded my new tune to DistroKid that'll be coming out by the time this podcast's out. It'll be out. You know, I got stuff done for the show because we got R&B's 2 coming up. Got all my tasks done for the day, coming here, doing the podcast, and then after all that, I'm like, yeah, let's chill, let's play. I'm on nights tomorrow, so I've got to stay awake until 5 a.m. So yeah, let me give myself this time to just chill out and relax, and you feel like you've earned it and you appreciate it more. When you're there every day just doing nothing with your life, people look around and they go, why don't I feel, what's the word I'm looking for, content with my life, or why can't I stay in the moment with certain things? It's because you know you should be doing better. If you honestly in your heart know through your discipline that you're giving your absolute all, there can be no regret.
I say that all the time. When people are hating, or when people say it's because they don't want to do the work that you're putting in. They haven't got the discipline to do it. They don't want to do it.
Yeah, it's self-reflection.
They're sat there playing with themselves, watching whatever they want in the... You know, sometimes they do it.
We must be a tough wank. I can't lie.
No, can you imagine? Do you know, they do say that you have got a person who has played with herself over you.
No doubt.
Yeah, I say that all the time. What about you, mate?
What was the question? We just got onto masturbation there. See, we are mature. So, what was the question? What's something? To be fair, I actually agree with you, discipline, but something else as well. What I deeply admire in other people is selflessness. The ability to, because it's rare, especially nowadays, because everybody's so self-focused. Selflessness in general, just doing some. I guess they do say, don't they, that there's no there's no such thing as some good deed, as a free good deed or what have you. There's always some personal gain in it.
Yeah.
But the ability just to be selfless, just to give something to other people, affect them positively, without expecting anything in return. I really admire that about people, because then people make the world a better place. And they're always a pleasure to be around. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I admire a lot selflessness.
I agree with that. Yeah. I will admit you've got a lot of that. If I'm being completely honest.
No, I'll try, mate. I'll try.
It's definitely one of them that I try and be like that. When I do help people, and I don't expect anything back, but you can't always be like that. Because I always like my things, do you know what I mean? That makes sense.
It can be difficult as well, you know, when you're selfless as a person, or you try to be, and you try to always help people. It can be difficult because I think I was reflecting recently, and I sort of realised this about myself. When I was younger, everybody used to come to me for advice, but no one had ever asked me how I was. Yeah. And you end up, this is not me being like fucking big head or whatever, this is just general thoughts. Yeah. Like, it can be a lonely place. Yeah. You know, when you're giving everybody else the advice and everybody sees you as this figure that you can come to, and they've got their head screwed on, but you don't have that outlet yourself. And there's difficult things that come from that. And that's why as well, for me, I respect selflessness more, because I understand what it takes to be selfless, because it's a lot of self-burden. Yeah. It's a big burden on yourself. Oh, yeah. To carry the weight of other people's problems as well as your own, which the amount of people in the world nowadays who can't even deal with their own problems is crazy, isn't it? So,
they take a pill instead.
Yeah.
To forget it.
Yeah, exactly. They try to escape their own problems, never mind taking other people's on. So yeah, selflessness. Alright, so the next question then. I feel like so far we're positive people, Reece.
Yeah.
It's all going to go tits up soon. When do you feel most yourself?
When I'm with family, friends. I wouldn't say... I am myself at work as well, but you've still got to put on that front.
Yeah, there's a personality in there. It's like plugging into the matrix, I call it.
Yeah, I keep away from my personal life in essence when I'm talking to customers, unless it's something positive. But with friends and family, I feel like I'm me. That's it. You get what you get, and if you don't like it, doors there.
Are you still guarded with your family in certain aspects of things?
Say that again.
Are you guarded on certain aspects of things with your family still?
I'm guarded on certain aspects from everybody. There's certain things that happen that I just don't feel like anybody needs to know. Yeah. In fact, no, that's a lie, because I have told you guys at New Year's. But there's certain aspects that I think it's just it is what it is. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? There's things that have happened that I think, oh shit. But we're here. We'll get on with it. We go forward.
No, it was just interesting because I've always felt that as well. Like I felt like even sometimes, like I do feel myself the most around family. I also, to be fair, feel myself the most when I'm under pressure. When I have to make split decisions, or like when I'm on stage, or like when I'm, even daft as it sounds, when I'm playing footy, where everything's instant, you got to make split decisions. But I do feel like, yeah, sometimes I'm especially guarded with my family around people I date and things like that. Like, my attitude has always been, I wouldn't want to introduce them to the person and waste their time. I'd rather the person they get introduced to be the one, you know what I mean, that they're going to know forever. It's interesting. I like to see what it's like with families. Like, I've never really spoke to my mum and dad about like my dating history or whatever. Do you do that with yours, or?
No, they know my past, my ex-girlfriends. Yeah. You've met my dad and how blunt he is and how forefront he is. Yeah, and if he thinks they're no good, he will tell them and tell me. And I'm not saying no good as in they're not good people. No good for me. And he will bluntly tell me. And he will say, you need to get rid, or you know, you need to lose it with them. You not lose it with them, like shout at them or anything, but just tell them to go away. Yeah. And I find it interesting that a lot of people hide the dating life from the parents. I get why, but I find it not interesting. I'm curious because of the way I am, and I'm quite open in that regard. Yeah. I suppose that's different for different people. But
yeah, it's not that they wouldn't be open to me talking to them about it. I think it's a personal preference. It's always something I've felt a bit weird about. It might be getting deep into it. It might be coming from a child of divorce. I don't know. There's a lot of things to unpack in that. Both with like fucking different ways you build relationships or you see relationships.
Yeah. No, I get that.
I've been on a very self-analysis journey recently.
I can tell, mate.
Yeah.
I can tell. I like it. I like it.
It's the only way to grow as a person. Can I just say to you as the audience, there's one video I saw the other day and it was this person on a podcast, I can't remember the name in the slightest, but they said a lot of us now have mental health problems, or a lot of us don't know who we truly are because we distract ourselves way too much. Like for example, how often recently have you just sat in silence thinking?
Oh, a lot. Emily's been away.
There's not a lot of people who do that.
Yeah, no.
And they're always on the phone the minute they've got silence, or they're playing video games. There's always a noise. We're never people. I know when I've spoken to people before and it's gotten a bit deep, the conversation, they go, oh no, I don't want to talk about stuff like that. It's like the only way you're going to be able to improve yourself is by analysing the dark sides of you as well. Go into the
all I can say, it's one of them that you've got to find the truth of what the truth, and it's rarely pure and it's never simple.
Jordan Peterson, innit? Don't think you're that good at thinking.
Yeah.
You have to be 8 different people in your head, all with conflicting opinions, to be able to come out with the right one.
Yeah, and I love Jordan Peterson. I think he brings out some good quotes. And I loved his quote when he was on BBC Newsround, I think it was. And he said, in order to be able to think, you have to risk being offensive.
Yeah.
And I think it's
true.
Yeah, it's true.
It's true.
Absolutely true.
Alright. So, I was the same as you. I've already said my answer, haven't I?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get on to number 4. What recurring dreams or daydreams do you have?
It's an interesting one because I've got a few. Because there's some that I think about, like being a football manager, like a coach, on a pitch. But then there's them realistic ones where I want that moment where I walk into my office of people who are my staff, who are working, under me, side of me. I'm not even going to say under me. And I can, on a Friday afternoon at 12 o'clock, I say, come on, we're going home, we're going to pub. I know it sounds daft and it's so simple, but when my gaffer, Neil, comes up to me and says, come on, we're going to pub on a Friday afternoon, it's such a morale booster. Do you know what I mean? And I'd love that. If we've had a shit week at work, to go to pub, it's one of them. We have a bit of lunch and we like reflect on what a week it's been. Yeah. And I'd love that moment where I've got 5 or 6 people and I'd say, come on, we're gonna pub. You can all finish early today.
Yeah, that's a bit of manifestation, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's the moment. And all these people, I know where it comes from. I want money too, but I also want to improve other people's lives as well in that regard.
That comes back to are you leaving a positive impact on people?
Yeah, and I want to be that manager, that person. I've already had it where I've been a manager in the previous place where all the people I've managed so far have still talk to me. That speaks everything. And they still, to this day, always say to me, you're the best manager I've worked for. And that to me is mint. Yeah. I remember I lost, and he'll admit this, they both weren't performing brilliantly. And I lost my shit because I was getting the stick for it. And I did lose it. I bought them at McDonald's because I thought I shouldn't shout like that. It's not me. That's not me. And we sat down, we had the food, and I says, right, now we're going to draw up a plan to fix what we've done wrong. And we fixed it. We in that afternoon. Because everybody's morale was up there.
Yeah, that's good.
Do you know what I mean?
That's good, that.
I know it sounds daft, but it's little things.
He's read a couple of management books, I like it.
It's little things like that. Yeah, I wish.
No, that shows that you're a good person, though, deep down. Because we all lose his head eventually. Yeah,
and I think it's the way you come back from that. So I went back into, I can remember it clear as day, I went back into office, I said, sorry boys, I've got a McDonald's up there. I says, I'm so sorry, I don't lose it like that. We'll have food and then we'll draw up a plan to fix what we've fucked up.
Exactly.
And that's what happened.
That's having a solution mindset. Yeah. That's something I admire about people and something I've worked on a lot myself over these last few years. And I love the fact now that when a problem occurs, I don't fly off the handle and go, oh shit, what's going to happen, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. I think, right, this is the problem. there's A, B, and C. These are the routes I could go down to fix it. Which one's the best? And then just pick one, and your life becomes so much more fluid and easy.
It does, mate.
When you can just do that.
Yeah.
Remove all emotion, because nobody's ever. When you shouted at them, then you were acting on emotion.
Yeah.
And one thing I've learned especially is nothing good ever comes from from an emotional decision.
No. And I think
probably the only time an emotional decision is good is when you're in love.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I think it also comes back to that we still really can't talk about it, but where I was getting screamed at, abused, that sort of thing from that person. That's why I kind of reacted, because I was fed up of that and didn't really deal with it in the best way. And I'll admit it, I didn't.
Yeah, you have to go through them experiences, man.
I did in the end. Moved on. That's how you deal with it. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, it's a good feeling. But to come back from such an emotional moment with reacting with a clear head and going, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And, I know it were only a £15 lunch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A cheeseburger a piece. But they turn around and says, what can we do to fix it?
Yeah, it's a gesture, isn't it?
What are we going to do to fix this? And they both wrote stuff down that I thought, yeah, this is going to fix this. They know what they're doing. And they just made a mistake. I mean, albeit it was the same mistake over and over again. Yeah. But they learn from it. So I suppose me losing my rag has made them think like, yeah, fair enough, I have fucked up. But at the same time, I wish I never did it.
Everything happens for a reason, man.
Yeah.
You lost your rag and then you learned how to, in the future, deal with them problems.
Yeah.
Self-development again. See? Yeah. Self-development, fucking hell.
That's it.
Hey, what's the next question? Oh shit, I'm on 4% battery, me. Reece, you might have to start reading out these questions, bro.
That's fine, mate. What about you, mate? What recurring dreams or daydreams do you have?
So I have daydreams. I always manifest myself on the beach. I've told the story many a times. Yeah. That one's a regular one. I also I always dream about performing in the day. So my daydreaming is always dreaming about performing and achieving stuff. Doing stuff like going on Joe Rogan, for example, or like stuff like performing at like Glastonbury or the O2 or whatever. I manifest things that are going to come up as well. So I manifest like what my set's going to be like at Tramlines. I do a lot of manifest.
What your sex is going to be like?
What my set is going to be like at Tramlines.
I'm listening to that
sex
back.
On stage at Tramlines.
Hope you did it.
Might do after though if there's any like cuties in the crowd or whatever.
Oh, here we go again. Give a little wink.
But yeah. Fucking hell, I forgot the question then.
What recurring dreams or daydreams do you have?
But an actual recurring dream, there's only one that I have when I sleep, really. There's a recurring dream I have, right? And I think it comes from my alternate life, because Declan Rice is me in an alternate universe. I have a dream, and this happens about once every 3 months. And the same thing happens pretty much every time. I get out my car, I'm at Oakwell, I walk into the players' entrance, I walk into the changing room, there's my shirt with my name, number 5 on it. I get changed, I walk out the tunnel, I start playing the game, and then we get a free kick, and just as I'm about to kick it, I wake up. Every single time. I don't know why. It's a dream that I've had for the last 5-10 years. Recurring. I think it's the inner child in me, like, you never made it as a footballer, did you wanker?
That's what started me going into coaching, because I just think I am made as a footballer, I will make it as a coach even if I don't. You know what I mean? Fair enough, mate. Oh, that's a nice little one.
It's a weird one. It's a weird one because I've tried to analyse it myself, and I'm like, does it mean that like is it a reminder that I didn't achieve that goal, so I have to achieve this goal? Is it to tell me that the story's not finished in whatever I'm doing currently? Because a lot of my dreams, they always, if you describe them as a movie, it'd always cut off on a cliffhanger. Every single dream I have on the night
Try lucid dreaming, mate, and continue it. Finish it for once. Oh, what about... Oh, this is very dark. But what about that your night that you're going to pass away and your body knows it, you finish the dream?
Oh my God. Yeah.
Oh shit.
If I finish that dream tonight, I'm going to like...
Wake up tomorrow like, boys.
Boys, I'm going to die today.
What's happening?
I'm going to die. What's the next question, Reece?
So, this one is number 5. What do you fear people would think about you if they truly knew you? I know my answer for this one.
What would read the question again?
What do you fear people would think about you if they truly knew you?
He's a slag. No.
I'm a racist. I'm joking.
What would I fear people knowing about me if they truly knew? If they knew absolutely everything about me?
Yeah. This one I got stuck on, but I have got an answer for
Well,
this.
answer yours, and then we'll. I'll come back to me.
People,
I'll think.
and you've got to bear in mind, it's to think what they'd think about you, and they'd think that I were a pushover. They'd think that I was an easy target for several reasons, and that I'm too nice, and rightly so, especially in my past, but not anymore.
Yeah.
I am too nice sometimes, and I defend people that shouldn't be defended. But I do think that my personality and everything has changed in the last 10 years, and positively as well.
Yeah. It's a strange one, you know, because it's rare that I was having this conversation with Jordan the other day, because we were on about, he won't mind me saying this, we're on about, so we're like, oh, what do you want in a girl? And we were just chatting, and he said, one of the traits I need my girl to have is I need other people to know that she's beautiful. And I'm like, that's a
weird one for me.
It's a bit of external validation for me. So it's rare for me to. My attitude has always been, your opinion of me is none of my business. But obviously you want to leave a good impression, but. Probably, yeah. The first thought that went through my head that I was cowardice at times.
Similar.
I think I let people back into my life too easily.
Yeah,
I think at times I acted out of fear a lot when I was younger.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm not that person anymore.
No.
But there were times where, especially, I only cared about really external validation. That's why I don't look at it anymore. Because back then, that's all I used to care about, was being the cool guy, being the guy everybody liked. And I'd sell myself out at points in order to get other people to like me.
Yeah.
I was always searching for them rather than searching for my own validation. So yeah, maybe, and maybe how fucking stubborn I can be sometimes. With my own mind.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stubbornness is a necessary evil, I call it, because I think you need it to have an importance in your life, if that makes sense.
You need to be able to dig your feet in, don't you?
Yeah, I need to be able to say, no, I ain't doing that. I don't want to do that. I don't need to do that. No, but you also need that stubbornness can also backfire in certain situations where you probably need to do it, but you don't want to do it. And so your mind's working against you. You don't want to do it, but you need to get to that point.
Yeah.
And you know, whether that's being courageous or if that's being brave, you know.
Yeah.
I think that's where it can work hand in hand, and where it can work against you as well as for you.
Good on. Yeah.
That's my true belief on stubbornness.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm too selective with women as well. I think I'm too picky.
Fucking speak to him about that.
Come and sit here, Danny. I think I'm too selective and not selective. I think I'm too selective and too unselective at the same time, if you get what I mean. I'm a mixture of both.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I think it's because I don't allow people in very easily. As much as
I don't let people in at all.
No, but I mean, as much as I come across as an outgoing guy.
Yeah.
But I don't let people see the real me for quite some time.
Yeah. Do you know what changed my mind on a lot of things, especially when I'm out? I don't know if you've read the 48 Laws of Power. Always say less than necessary.
Yes.
And that changed my output on everything. And I was like, and when he's telling the story about the guy in Russia getting hanged, and then the rope breaks. And in old Russian times, it was seen as you've been let off by the gods. You are not going to be hanged anymore. You're free. And he turned around and said, "Look, Russia's that cheap, they can't even make proper rope." He got summoned and he got sentenced to death again. Always say less than necessary.
Yes.
And that changed, when I read that, it changed my mind on everything that I'm about. And I always...
You want to know something? I learned this, it's a similar thing around when I started reading that about a couple of years ago. And
it takes 2 years to fucking read it.
If you stop talking and start listening, everybody will tell you what you want to know.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because you a lot of the times we have friends who have troubles, or we can see something so obvious that they need to change, but they can't see it themselves, and you keep going, you need to do this, or you don't know why somebody's doing this to you, or why they're always acting in a certain negative way. If you just take a step back and watch them, they will show you who they truly are.
I can remember, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, and we can cut this out if you want it to.
Go for it.
I can remember a certain woman that you were smitten over at one point, and we were sat in the pub, and she was out with us, and it took me and Jamie especially, to tell you need to fucking let her go. She's playing you like a fucking doll, and you never spoke to her after that.
No, this is true.
And I remember that clear as day, purely because I was soberish at that point.
Oh yeah.
And I just remember it.
Jamie were out, so it got messy.
Yeah. Oh, it always did. It's always the quietest one, and he were always the quietest one until he went. It just used to go, "Town boys," and it'd be, you knew from that point forward, it'd be shit.
Jamie's the perfect example of say less than necessary.
Yeah. 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 Pretty much. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. What's the next question, Ruth?
If you could instantly master any skill or trait, what would it be and why?
Conversation. Fully.
Yeah.
In terms of...
Sexual intercourse.
No, in the terms of... if you master the art of conversation, you can find anything out about anyone you want. And you can also, and this might be a little bit self-indulgent, but you can also manipulate any situation into what you want.
Do you want me to... I'll tell you a thing I've learned, especially in the last year and a half. Especially in sales, like we spoke about earlier. Always ask basic questions, right? You know the why, what, who, when, and all that. What are you looking for?
Yeah.
Ask the basics. For example, I've found certain things out about previous companies recently by just asking, "Oh, what have you heard then?" And just letting people do the talking. What's happened?
Yeah.
That's 2 words. What's happened?
Yeah.
And if they don't want to talk about it, all right, when did you find that out? Simple as that. They don't really, and I'm not necessarily digging for information. It's just information that I would need to know.
It's interesting how sales correlates to real life. So I'll give you young guns some little Riz tips here. Right? Fucking do that on a date. So, if you're the person who speaks less, right, and you're just asking open-ended follow-up questions to someone, doesn't matter whether they're male or female, whatever, they will have a bigger affection to you because people don't listen to them like that. And you actually seem genuinely interested in what they want to know, and you're just asking basic questions. Oh, why was that? Why did that? And then you might throw in an opinion yourself every now and then.
So just don't go around convincing that it were good.
yeah, keep followed on it.
Yeah, simple.
Yeah,
it's actually that simple. Yeah,
everyone's favourite subject is themselves. Remember that.
Very much true, especially women.
Yeah,
and I know that sounds very harsh, and I'm talking about myself a lot now, but women, they love to do it. But mine would be similar to you. It'd be conversation, but it wouldn't be the conversation like now. It'd be debate, because I'm still at the beginning stage of it.
So would you say knowledge then? Infinite knowledge.
Yeah, I'd probably say Yeah, putting knowledge into meaningful conversations that are debate worthy. So yeah, probably knowledge.
Just to differentiate, would you want infinite knowledge of everything, or would you want to be able to convey your knowledge correctly in a more articulate way?
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. You're hitting the nail on the head.
Yeah.
I want to be able to say my thoughts and opinions in a better way than I do. Because a lot of my opinions, I think a lot of people would agree with, but I just can't get them out in an absolutely politically correct way.
It's not even politically correct, it's just articulate, isn't it?
Yeah, so for example, like when I say, illegal immigrants shouldn't come in. I'm saying that, but why don't I say it in terms of, I think illegal immigrants should find the correct ports of entry, and if they can't, they should be deported back to their own countries.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. But these days I was going, fuck them all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just need to get that, and I'm learning, I'm trying, I'm looking at debate content and watching how Charlie Kirk and Ben Shapiro do debates and how they articulate their conversation and how they portray what they're trying to say in a miles better way, in a better way than I do.
It's very similar to discipline, like we said earlier, in the way that somebody who speaks well and somebody who can convey their point in a good way commands respect instantaneously. Yeah.
I'd love that.
Interesting.
We've got 20 minutes left, mate.
Oh.
And we've got 4 questions, so it's a question every 5 minutes.
We're doing all right, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're doing all right.
So,
the clips are going to be banging on this, bro.
Yeah. When was the last time you were truly proud of yourself, and what was the situation?
When was the last time I was truly proud of myself? There's been quite a lot recently, actually. So, doing my own regular show in town, like my own regular fucking music show. When we actually put that on, and it was a success, and it was a roaring success, and I offered to do it for free, and it did that well. I ended up getting paid, and it was just like, it was such a proud moment. As much as straight on to the next, I was proud because like something that I've created out of nothing. There was just all of this that's happening to me now: tramlines, pen game, fucking own show, music that's coming out is going to be bigger than ever. Getting so close. I'm actually on the board now. Like, I'm sharing a festival poster with some people that I've listened to for years. Like, how crazy is that? It all started from a fuck it, why not? Yeah. Literally. Sat in the back garden, listening to a rapper's EP, going, I could do better than this. And then going, fuck it, why not? And however many years later, we're here. And
it's a good feeling, mate.
It were interesting just to look back and go, fuck me. Like, it all started just literally from a fuck it, why not? And so my advice to anybody at home would say, fuck it, why not? A lot more often. Because it can lead to something incredibly good.
Oh, yeah.
What about yourself? What was the most recent thing you were proud of?
Winning a massive contract last year. And I know it sounds like I'm talking about sales a lot, but when you're in it and you win a massive contract, and the cunt who I deal with mainly dealt with, I'll say, we could have won that without you. Do it then. I know things that are happening there now. Looking back, it was my first ever tender, first ever presentation at a massive headquarters for a massive global chain, speaking to people that are far more knowledgeable than I am in anything that I could have dreamed, but I won that fucking contract.
Yeah.
And when I got that phone call, you bet your fucking money that I was like, getting.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I didn't get any commission for it or anything like that. Part of the reason why I left, but we fucking, that was a good moment where I thought, I can do this now.
Yeah.
If I can win that, I can win anything.
Yeah, I think what we've both said there is, we're both proud of achieving things. We put a hell of a lot of hard work into stuff, and we just said fuck it, why not? Put a hell of a lot of hard work into it and then achieved it. It's interesting to see what other people are proud of. Like, I don't want to say normal people, but like, fuck it, NPCs, if you will. Like, proud of the fact that they got out of bed before 12 a.m. before 12 p.m.
Yeah, there's a guy
I'm
online
like,
called...
I'm proud of... I'm proud of, like, this dodgy fucking thing I did. Or, I missed a day. Like, I'm proud of the fact I didn't have any cake today. Like,
there was a person who... I wouldn't say dealt with. There was a person a couple of years ago that... In fact, it was longer than that. It was during COVID, so it was 5 years ago. That's how close COVID... You know what I mean? That's weird, that. But she once said to me, "Oh, I'm so proud. I got up before 10 a.m. I'm like, 10 a.m? I've been at work 4.5 hours. What the fuck have you been doing? And she says, "Oh, I've rearranged my bedroom." You've rearranged your bedroom?
Don't get me wrong.
I get being proud, mate.
Yeah, but it's interesting to say, because a few podcasts ago, it's quite interesting. We were saying we're not proud of ourselves a lot, and we need to actively progress. We need to actively make progress in that area. We need to actively try and be more proud of ourselves.
I'm not proud of making my bastard bed, mate.
Yeah, it's interesting how what we class as proud compared to other people.
Yeah, good point.
I think there's a theme coming here, whereas maybe we feel like we have to earn everything in our lives.
I think
a lot of people are just proud to have things.
Yeah, do you know what I think that stems from, though? Is the hard work that we do put in. We feel like they're not putting in as much work as us, so we just think, nah, you can't be proud of little things. And maybe I should be. Maybe I should. Maybe I should be proud of, I don't know, making my bed. But I just feel like that should be just standard.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if you're proud of something that you haven't been doing, fair enough. But if you're proud of something I could put my socks on. What do you fucking mean you can put your socks on? You should be able to just do that.
Yeah.
But some people can't.
Especially those with no feet.
Question 8. Question 8. Who or what do you often find yourself judging even if you don't say it out loud?
Or in other people or myself?
Yeah, so who or what do you often find yourself judging even if you don't say it aloud? Who or what?
Body language.
True. Yeah, I agree with that straight away. That was my answer.
Yeah, body language.
Body language and intent.
Yeah. The thing is, action.
Yeah.
So, because you can never know somebody's intention. You know your intention. You can't see what's behind somebody else's mind, can you? At the end of the day, intention is thought, but action. That's why people say actions speak louder than words.
Yeah, I get it, but I still try and find intent behind everybody's words and what they're actually meaning. And I think that purely comes down to speech and how they talk. So, for example, if you watch me on, I know this is going to sound wacky, and I don't think I can see intent or anything like that. I'm not some mystical creature that can fucking... Yeah. But do you know when somebody's talking to me compared to talking to some closer friend, I try and pick up patterns of speech and things like that. That's just my head playing in my own head. And I think, if you're speaking to that person, what's your intentions with that person? But what's your intentions with me as well? And I think my head's just wacky, mate.
Yeah, I think it's not healthy to look at people's intentions because, like we said earlier, it almost contradicts a little bit if you just step back and watch people, they'll show you who they truly are, because you judge people based off of their actions. Yeah. You know what I mean? So yeah, still judge as long as your intentions are true. But yeah, you can definitely definitely judge. That sort of, but yeah, the way people carry themselves. Yeah, you could. That's what I judge a lot. Because go on. Sorry, mate. I'll continue my point after. It comes on to something else as well about trust. I had a big thing with, like, I didn't trust very easily a couple of years back, and I was thinking to myself, a lot of things happened, and my trust levels were just on the floor, and I was thinking to myself, why is this? And I'm like, well, we trust people based off of our own standards that we hold to ourselves. So you wouldn't. Whereas I think it's a lot healthier in life, and my life has become a lot easier when I trust a snake to bite me and a kitten to meow. It's like it's trust people to be who they are. Find out who they are, and then trust them to be that person. Then you can decide whether you want them in your life or not.
I also think a big thing that combines with trust is forgiveness as well. And one of the big things that I thought about. Do you remember my birthday 2 years ago? When on that night out we went to Sky Lounge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I can remember one thing you told me, and we were in that little rock bar, if you remember, with whiskies and you told me something, and it made me think, wow, you fucking pillock. Like, why would you do that to me? And you told me something really sad. I don't want to explain it because I'm not airing our laundry on this podcast. But then we spoke about it, and you says it were a moment of this, a moment, you know, I've never done it again, that sort of thing. And then you're just like, yeah, you're my mate. Do you know what I mean? You're my boy. Like, that's
I
not
don't even
gonna.
know what you're on about.
You spoke with somebody who I've thinking in the past.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
That's all it was. But
Yeah.
you know, it's one of them that played on my mind for an hour. We spoke about it, and then you forgive. You trust people, and you trust the heart and their intent.
Yeah.
I knew your intentions were fine. You weren't going for that. So I think forgiveness is a big thing as well that I like to see a lot. Unless they've done something absolutely horrendously wrong.
Forgiveness, it's not for us to judge, is it? It's for the Lord to judge.
Yeah. If you could relive one moment in your life, not to change it, just to re-experience it, which one would you choose? And this were a tough one for me.
See, boxing comes to mind instantaneously, but I feel like I'm missing something. Because still, so far, I think it's part of the reason I do music. I'm trying to replicate that feeling. Because nothing has been able to match that winning feeling since. If I could relive one moment in my life. You know what? After recent events, I'd like to just go on one of my little walks with my granddad again when I was 5. I'd like to relive one. Yeah. Because I cherished them as a kid. Some of my happiest memories. So.
Yeah, I can imagine, mate. That got me a bit fucking to heart then. That got me a little bit that. Fucking hell. For me, I'll brighten it up a bit because that did get to me a little bit. Because it just reminded me of my great grandma when I used to speak to her at her house, talking about everything because she were in the World War.
Stop crying, you're gonna make me cry. We can't cry after college. We can't cry after fucking calling out the UK politics.
Mine would be the 2016 playoff final against Millwall.
Oh yeah.
I come after the 2023 one. I need that that feeling of Hamill striking it from 30 yards and me saying to my old friend Aidan, "It's going in that," as he hit it.
Oh, mate.
And then pandemonium. I have never kissed a man with true intent, but that day I was fucking smushing every man on earth and everybody. The stadium that it just
energy.
went. And do you know when that Isgrove goal went in and we all said everybody were jumping on each other? I fell down fucking stairs. Everybody were going fucking crazy. That moment tipped my teens. My teens were done when that happened, and I was like, I'm never going to experience that again.
Yeah.
And I nearly did. If
just as a little side note, should we do this? What moment from our friendship would you relive if you could? So to
that moment where I just won my fight and you were going on, and I said, "Your turn, mate."
Yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah, I love that moment. That moment to me, were like, he's a good kid. This one, I like this one. Do you know what I mean? That moment, and then I can remember
that were after like 8 weeks of training together. I
remember that moment. You'd won. And first, obviously, you went to your parents' but first person, you walked upstairs and I was there. Biggest hug I've ever given a man, you know what I mean? There's still a picture from that night. I'll send it down here, I can put it up, but I've still got a picture from that night, or us two.
Bloody hell. I don't think I've even got that picture anymore. Yeah, we need that picture. 100%, man. Mine would be when we went up on the Stendhal. that day out. So Barnsley got promoted. We were in second. We were already promoted. We were going for the league title. But in time, because we'd been promoted, this was just a party all day. So me and Weiss went out about me and Weiss went out about 12:30, and what ensued was one of the best days out of, even though we're drinking, one of the best days out I'd say I'd ever had.
I remember people commenting on the actual post on Barnsley saying, "Oh, them lads at back that were starting chants at a live venue." We got the stadium going, and it were great.
So we started out in town, we had a few drinks, and then we couldn't go to the game itself because it were down south. So they put a screen on to watch it
Live
at
view,
Oakwell.
innit? Yeah.
So we went to Oakwell and we were hammered by this point anyway.
We were gone.
So we started chanting. Everyone just sat watching, and we've got pies, so we started chanting. We got a crowd round us. Everybody, we created an atmosphere.
Yeah.
After that, we went out some more. We just did all the random shit you do. I can't even remember it all. And to tip off the night, when the town players came round the corner and we all started celebrating.
We were just going to go home as well.
Yeah, he grabbed Daniel Stendhal, our manager, by the face, screamed
and went,
in his
fucking
face.
come on!
And just that image, I want to relive
Yeah, but he
again.
loved it. He loved it all. He was smiling with
yeah.
everybody. He was jumping at everybody. And all I remember is lifting Andy Bayejo up on my shoulder thinking, you fat cunt. He was a great player.
He used to date one of my ex-birds.
I know he did. And I remember saying to Jordan, giving Jordan Williams an hug around, you know when you put your arms around someone from back, I went, you're a fucking legend. He turned around and went, yeah, I remember that night.
Fucking that, what a night that was.
Oh,
mate, it was unbelievable.
Fucking hell.
It's core memories, isn't it?
Oh, Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like the days you used to ring me up just randomly at like 3 p.m. on a Saturday? It'd be the summer. You coming out?
Going out, boys?
No matter where I was in the world, get a phone call.
I'm just coming off nights. Come on.
And just carnage you consume.
Yeah.
Then he'd cry. Then I'd get some chicken.
What about that Barnsley vs Millwall game at Garrison? Barnsley vs Walsall at their ground, and it was last minute Jacob Brown winner.
Oh, fucking
and Garrison
hell.
just went fucking mental.
About that.
And it was one of them games. I think we were close to going up, and it just went fucking crazy. The stadium erupted. Good memories.
Good memories. All right, what's the
last one?
Last question to finish it off.
What's the truth about yourself you rarely share with anybody? I've already kind of told it, to be fair.
I'm a very soft, soppy guy at heart.
Yeah. I was going to say I'm a very loving person. Do you know what I mean? I as much as it doesn't look like it, I would help any fucker. You know what I mean? An hour of need.
Yeah.
I would do my best to help anybody. I know it doesn't seem like it because I'm hard-faced, but I'd help anybody.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I'd also say, alright, just read the question one more time. Just make sure I'm
What's
thinking
the
the right
truth
thing.
about yourself? What's a truth about yourself you rarely share with anyone?
What did I have in my head then? I'll keep talking.
Daniel Stendhal just going.
I would say that
Silence on a podcast is always good, mate.
I'm way too harsh on myself.
I don't think that's rare. I don't think that's a rare truth because I think it's evident.
It's something that I try and project confidence though. I'd actually say that I'm not that much of a openly confident guy, but I project confidence.
Yeah.
Yes, we all have his insecurities.
We do.
I know yours is your penis.
I was just about to say that.
It was a matter of time, and I'm like, fucking starters, go.
So, but this has been a bit of a different episode, mate.
This is, we've got to know each other, and ChatGPT in the next episode is going to tell us who we are.
Yeah.
Based off of these answers.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm probably like going to be a gimp or something. You know what I mean?
If you are, you have to come into the next episode wearing a gimp mask.
Deal. So anyway, this has been the All You Can Talk podcast.
It's been a special one today.
We found a lot about ourselves, mate. Oh, the mouse was there. Oh.
If you want more episodes like this compared to the usual, let us know. Also, leave a like on the video, subscribe to the video on YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram. Leave a comment on TikTok. Debate us on any of the subjects. We'd love to hear your thoughts on any of these questions as well. And any topics you'd like us to talk about in the future. This is the All You Can Talk podcast. Anything, nothing is off limits.
Drugs.
Yeah, we could do a good 2 hours on drugs.
So yeah, it is what it is. If you're having a crap day, I hope you have a better day. If you're having a good day, I hope the day gets even better. Yeah. Remember, if you disagree with somebody, still be friends with them. Like always,
Right.
This has been us.
It's been a pleasure.
Bang!
See you later.
Boom.